Hello everyone and welcome back to another video of mine. This time I'm back with Avatar: The Last Airbender, Season 1, Episode 8, the season finale. I'm so excited for this one. We are finally gonna see the battle between the Water Tribe and the Fire Nation. And as we saw in the animation, I'm 1000% sure that he's gonna do the exact same thing. He's gonna try to erase the moon. So I'm excited to see if the creators of the show are actually gonna make him fuse with the spirit of the ocean again, also here in the live action. But let's see. If you like this kind of content, make sure to subscribe. For the full uncut reaction, you can check out my Patreon. The link is in my description box below. And without further ado, let's start. That's Aang literally just saying, "Do not touch my girl." Did we see what he did when that firebender tried to get a Katara? He's like, "Sit down."
You gotta be kidding me.
Same, sir. But to be quite honest, did they expect that there was only gonna be one Fire Nation ship? I mean, of course, seeing so many ships at once is a little bit dramatic, but...
10 would have been proud.
Not him no. I'm sorry, goodbye. But to be quite honest, I love how they're doing it this time. He is literally showing here that he cares about Iroh a lot too. Let's go. Like I said, air is superior. I'm sorry. For me, it will always be air. Air and water.
Women are not allowed in combat.
I thought I showed you how stupid that is. Forget your pride. You know we can make a difference.
Y'all, in a certain sense, it isn't that heavy sexism that they're tackling in this, where they're like, yeah, women can't fight or they shouldn't fight in general. But in a certain sense, they're still trying to say that women shouldn't fight in the first place. As in, men should always take care of women and women shouldn't even get involved in fighting. But sadly, nowadays, considering the fact is so bad, it's so sad, it's very dark, everyone should know how to defend themselves. And if there are numbers lacking in their forces, they need to get over their pride. Women are human beings as well. Just because men are physically stronger than women does not mean that women can't do anything. Women can fight too. Women can make a difference too. And sadly, the way they're portraying this, it literally would be like if the Fire Nation would come there and see women out there, they wouldn't expect them to fight because they also have like that mentality. Women can't fight, women can't do anything, and that would be like a nice surprise to prove them that women can fight, as in like pleasant surprise. It's a different kind of sexism, where everyone is like, women are too fragile to handle being thrown into combat. Normally, it is the job of men to like fight, but women can fight too. And they should. Like, in order to survive, everyone will have to fight. You can't just say, I'm only gonna attack the men of a village. Children and women will be thrown into the face of battle. So if you don't really train them, and you don't give them a chance to learn how to defend themselves, they will be at the mercy of their enemy. Like, let them learn how to defend themselves, let them learn how to fight. If it's like a small fight, fine. Like, I'm not gonna be that powerful feminist. Like, you can just send men. But if it's like a war, a real war, there is no place here to prioritize men being thrown into the face of battle and women need to stay at the sidelines and then heal the men that get wounded during the war. This is war. This is not just a battle. This is war. So every single human being will be affected by this. And you will have the women's death and the deaths of young children on your conscience. Like, they're only letting adult men fight, I would say starting 16, but like 8-year-old boys are not allowed to fight. And they're literally throwing aside an entire gender. They're like women, whether they're young or old, they can't fight. Men, if they're young, like under 16 years old, they can't fight because they're too young. And they don't have enough experience to could like handle being attacked. So it's just like on men. No, when this is not like a battle, this is not like a fist fight between two people where you can actually choose your opponent. This is war. So women, children will always be attacked. You're not really gonna let young children fight and you're gonna throw them into war. I can understand that. I really do. And that's okay. Like young children being thrown into the face of war, it's not necessary to do that. But at least like small defense lessons, that's not something bad. And it doesn't really have to build up to the fact that when there is war coming, that women and men from 6 years old need to fight in a war. Maybe they will have the capability because of their experience of taking defense lessons. They will be capable to like escape their opponent. Like you don't need to throw little girls or little guys into the face of combat. But you shouldn't just say men can only fight and women can't. There are a lot of women and they're very willing to fight. Like just to put it out there. Considering the fact that's like something that I was wondering when I was watching the animated series. They're like, it's forbidden for women to learn waterbending. What did they do with Avatar Kyoshi? She's a woman. There have been many female avatars. How are they capable to learn waterbending if they're having that kind of mentality? How are they capable to learn waterbending? Like they're only changing it if it's convenient for them, in a certain sense. Because a female avatar was the avatar, so they had to get over their pride. But if a woman came there to want to learn how to fight, they're like, no, you're a woman. When you're in a war, everyone will be affected by the war. Even the people that are not fighting. Women, little children, they will always be involved in the war. They will also be victims. They will also be considered as a necessary evil. If they're already learning how to develop their powers, let them learn how to defend themselves. They can also save men. They can help reduce the numbers of death. This has nothing to do with gender. It has to do with capabilities. There are a lot of women that are capable to do a lot more than men in a specific part. There is not a job that is better or more suitable for a man or for a woman. We all can do specific tasks. It depends on a person if they want to fight or not. If a woman doesn't want to fight or a man doesn't want to fight, you shouldn't force them because they will not give it their all. But if you actually have women that are willing to give it their all and they're willing to learn how to fight in order to defend themselves and to protect the people that they love.
It's the ice moon, a rare cosmic event. The barriers between the physical and spirit worlds grow thin.
You're not thinking of tampering with the spirit world, are you? Are you?
This man does not play with the spirits. He wants to slay the spirits.
Killing the ocean spirit would deprive waterbenders around the world of their lives. I'm not a monster.
Yes, you are.
The Avatar's power is great, but it pales before the power of the elemental spirits.
There are a lot of things about this entire scene that I don't understand. Zhao was in the temple of Avatar Roku, and there were a lot of things from the spirit world. So I automatically assumed that they were only belongings from Avatar Roku. That's why they were capable to like retrieve those items and lay them down there in this man's sanctuary. But apparently in Avatar Roku Sanctuary, there were also items from Avatar Kuruk. Has the Fire Nation been collecting items from past avatars and they laid it down in Avatar Roku Sanctuary? Why? Considering the fact that they hate the Avatar so much and they want the Avatar to be destroyed, why would they even think about keeping something that belonged to them? But let's ignore that. The other thing here, apparently the knife that Zhao has used to be Avatar Kuruk's. Apparently he created that sword. But what will that sword do? Considering he said that it was created from materials from the spirit world, maybe that was supposed to foreshadow that that knife is the only thing that it can actually, like, kill a soul. As in kill a spirit. In a certain sense, just like to show, of course, like, that's not what I actually mean by that, but like to give you guys like a view of what I have in mind. If that sword would pierce Katara when she is in the spirit world, she would die because of that. Or like Aang being in the avatar state, he's like allowing his spirit to take over his natural form, and that's why his spirit becomes more powerful than his human form. And if Zhao would stab Aang while he's in the avatar state, his spirit would die, as in a certain sense Rava would die, because she is a spirit. Is that what they're trying to tell me here? So technically the storyline in this show right here is supposed to be that Avatar Kuruk created that knife in order to like could kill Ko, considering the fact he wanted to slay him. Maybe that knife was supposed to destroy Ko, but then he died and he wasn't capable to kill him. So the Fire Nation found that knife and they collected it until they found out what that knife is good for. And that knife is capable to like kill every single spirit. So even if a spirit is like roaming around in the human world, if they get stabbed with that knife, their spirit gets like sent away, as in it dies. The ocean and the moon spirit take form in the physical world. So, considering that no one knows, besides Aang I would think, how to get into the spirit world, Zhao wants to use the opportunity, considering the fact that he like explained that on the ice moon, the line between the mortal world and the spirit world is very, very thin. That means if there is a very thin line between the mortal world and the spirit world, it's very easy for a spirit to go to the mortal world and for a human to go into the spirit world, because the line between both worlds is very, very thin. So, considering the fact that the spirits of the ocean and the moon are in the mortal world right now, and they will use like the end of the day in order to switch back into the spirit world, Zhao wants to use the fact that there is that thin line between the mortal and the spirit world in order to get rid of them, so that at the end of the day, the spirits won't be capable to like swift over into the spirit world. Like it will literally be trapped in the mortal world, and considering that he killed or will kill the moon spirit while it's trapped right now in the mortal world, it will die if it gets struck by that blade, because that blade was designed to kill spirits. So even if a spirit is inside a mortal body, if it gets struck by that knife, that spirit will die inside the human body. That's how I'm seeing it right now. That's like a strange way they like changed it. It's very complicated to understand their changes. But in a certain sense, it's interesting. Just not sure if I think it's a positive change or not. But if you guys ask me, I love changes. Especially in shows that I truly, truly love. Of course, there are like changes where I'm like, no, you don't. But in general, why not? Let's see what they do.
This isn't like trying to find a lost puppy. They could appear as a pair of trees in a grove, or insects on a blade of grass.
Well, we won't know until we start looking, right?
Oh, this little
Iroh,
schools.
either you help me find the spirits, or watch as I burn this whole place to the ground.
This is literally this man's silent threatening. You do not threaten Iroh.
Go easy. People have been hurt already.
Yeah.
Don't care.
He's not talking to you,
I
sir.
wasn't talking to you.
That, because she knows she can take you. Oh, yes. Aang showing, I know you can do it, girl. Give me that. I'm sorry. Dallas' fighting skills. It's his signature at this point. Yes, Katana! Yes! There's this wall between the both of us.
You found a master, haven't you?
Of course, I am out of water. Ice him, girl. Ice him. Ice him. I'm sorry, this is hilarious. She literally wrapped him up and sent back to the address. She said send back. I'm sorry in general. How would you know what the ocean and moon spirit is? You know? They literally look the same.
Yes!
Besides the different colors. So how would he know he's killing the right spirit?
Whatever you do to that spirit, I'll unleash on you tenfold!
Oh, let's go.
Spare me your empty threats.
This can still work out for you, Iroh. Once I take my place as the new Fire Lord, you can stand by my side. Your presence
wants
will
this
lend
man.
legitimacy to my
Sir,
claim.
you're about to be burned.
Dragon of the West.
I will
Rise
burn
again.
you alive. You will be burned because that's the only thing you're gonna
As
get.
long
They
as
love
he
to burn
bows.
people in this show.
Do you think anyone cares about you?
Yes, because he's the Avatar, bitch.
Be once I eliminate water bending from the world. Master of 3 elements.
Doesn't quite have the same
Damn.
ring to it.
Does it? Let's face it. You don't matter anymore.
Wow.
Actually,
They
I'm
actually
not sure you ever did.
like, I need to criticize here something. As much as I love this adaptation, I hate this point with all my heart. That they keep on shitting on Aang. They keep on shitting on Aang because he can't really use every single element yet. He can only use airbending. He can't use water bending, earth bending, and fire bending yet. And let's not talk about his avatar state. They keep on shitting on him. First, his old friend. Like, I'm just gonna try to make you all see the pressure this man has been under ever since he woke up, and all the guilt tripping that all of these people have been putting on him. This man must have felt that he will explode, either burning in tears or his avatar state coming up every single second. First he wakes up and Sokka goes ahead and he's like, of course, when the world needed him most, he vanished because he's a coward. Then his old friend Boomy, even though, like I said, Boomy has every right because he has seen the damage of war. So we can't hate on this man for having been hurt, by having been affected by so much pain that the Fire Nation put him through. And yes, Aang could have done something to help him. So, like, I'm not blaming Boomy here, but just to put it here. Boomy telling him that Aang could have done something in order to prevent so much pain and suffering, yet he wasn't there when humanity needed him the most. Then him coming to the water tribe and this man literally saying, I need a waterbending teacher because I don't know what I'm doing. Which brings me back to, I think, episode 5, was it? When they were in the spirit world and Aang like sees that burned forest. He's like, this is all my fault. This is my responsibility because I wasn't there. I don't know what I'm doing, so that's why the Fire Nation is capable to hurt more people. So, like, that's 3 things already hurting him. Then him coming to the water tribe, saying he needs to learn because he only knows how to airbend, and that's it. And then them saying he should have focused more on his studies, because now they can't count on him anymore in leading the battle, because this man only can use airbending. And they don't think about that this man needs to train in general, which already made him feel like shit again, which would be 4 things. And then this man here over here is saying, I can wipe an entire race of benders. Do you know what that feels like? You don't matter. I don't think you ever did. So that's like 5 things. Everywhere he goes, someone is criticizing this man because he wasn't there. This man literally couldn't do anything but trying to make up for the guilt he's feeling on the inside. And no matter where he goes, there is always someone kicking him in the ass. This man literally just wants to do his duty now. He didn't know that he was gonna freeze himself in an ice for 100 years. He didn't know. So, everyone coming at him in this show is making me really feel mad. Because maybe I feel like this because I've been through something similar like this in my life personally. So maybe that's why it's making me feel even more mad than it should. But in general, he is trying everything he can. He doesn't have any idea about the other bending abilities. So he literally went to the Northern Water Tribe in order to learn water bending. And as soon as he asked for help, they are like, no, we needed your help. But considering the fact that you're useless, you don't know how to control your capabilities, you're useless, we don't need you now. So they were literally like, we refuse to teach you now as well. So literally, he doesn't have anyone to train him. Beautiful. So how will this man learn waterbending? I mean, we all know in the later seasons, Katara is like mostly his waterbending teacher. But still, they immediately were like, no thank you. We're not training you. You should have thought about training on your way here. Because right now, we're here at war. And we need all of your capabilities. As in, you needed to learn how to master all 4 elements while you were on your way here. Because here, we need your capabilities. We're not here to train you. You need all of your capabilities already. And now literally, Zhao's saying, you don't matter. I'm not sure you ever did because you don't know what you're doing. You don't know how to control every single capability. You don't even know how to control your avatar state. That's gonna make him feel even worse. Like literally everywhere he's going, everyone keeps on literally making him feel shorter than he already is. Like he's already feeling a lot of guilt inside of him, frustration, pain. And the frustration sooner or later will turn into rage because he can't do anything about the fact that he doesn't know how to dominate the other elements. He needs a teacher. And they are literally all being bitchy like that. My God, that's making me so mad. And it's gonna make this man feel insanely hurt. Like, he has been trying everything he can, but he's not a god. He needs someone to teach him. And considering that no one did teach him, they were literally like, no, you had to learn how to bend every single element on your way here. Now we don't have time to teach you. You should have thought about your training while you were coming here. We're not here to train you. You should be here to help us win this war because we know the Fire Nation is about to come get us. And considering the fact that he was like, I can only airbend, they were like, well, great, now we can count on him. And they didn't even think for a second about, yeah, maybe we can help him so that he at least knows the waterbending basics, you know, like giving this man in a certain sense a help that he could need for his avatar training. No, they immediately like, no training for the avatar. My God, what is this? How is he supposed to learn if people literally see him and they're like, you already should know how to bend every single element? Even though this man is 12 and young, they expect this man to literally be capable to be a complete and fully developed avatar already. They don't even think about teaching him. They're like, oh, well, we can't count on him anymore. And they literally are dismissing the fact of teaching him because they are like, in a certain sense, petty. They're all petty, and they're like, great, we can count on him because he doesn't know how to control his powers. He's just an airbender now, and we don't need just an airbender. We need the avatar. He's literally not of any use. Goodbye. Great. Oh, I love it. I came with this little bitch. That's why you're gonna be burned at the stake. They're actually showing it in battle as well, how much that's infecting every single one of them. They did. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Placing the world's needs ahead of your needs. The Avatar's power is great, but it pales before the power of the elemental spirits.
Oh, now I understand what Kurok meant when he said that. So in a certain sense, considering the fact that this is the moon and ocean spirit, that spirit is there since the beginning of time. The Avatar hasn't been the Avatar since the beginning of time. So considering the fact that the Avatar existed after the moon and the ocean spirit, the Avatar is less powerful than the ocean and or the moon spirit. So if Aang should try to connect to the ocean spirit, it would be like, in a certain sense, like his avatar state. He can control his avatar state. The avatar state and his past lives are controlling him in order to like get him out of dangerous situations. With the ocean spirit, it would be like Aang allowing another spirit to take over him and control his actions. As in, it would be like allowing the ocean spirit to control him like the avatars do when Aang goes into the avatar state, because he can't control his avatar state. This is literally like Aang sacrificing his psychological health for his physical health. Now for me to elaborate. Aang giving up his psychological state means that Aang will allow to become an empty shell, an empty vessel for the ocean spirit to tap into and to control him. So that's like him giving up his psychological health, because it's not like a very nice thing. Like imagine, just for an example, if this would be a vengeful spirit. For the people that saw Teen Wolf, Styles gave in to the Nugitsune and allowed the Nugitsune to control this man's actions, but Styles was still in there. Like he saw what the Nugitsune did, but he was too weak compared to the Nugitsune in order to like take back control over his body and to stop the Nugitsune's evil actions. Now, the ocean spirit may not do something evil, but considering the fact that it's always been the moon and ocean spirit, maybe he would become vengeful seeing that his lover, I don't know if it's a lover, but like they have always been connected. So I'm just gonna consider the moon and ocean spirit as soulmates, considering the fact that the ocean soulmate has been killed. I don't think he's feeling happiness. So if I turn into my worst state, I'm turning vengeful. So that means I would allow the ocean spirit as the avatar to take over me, considering that this thing is more powerful than the avatar. It would be like me, as in my soul, giving space to another soul to jump into me and to replace my spot. As in, my soul will literally be at the back of my head in a certain sense, and I will be giving space to the ocean spirit to go into my body and to control my actions. But considering the fact that my soul is still inside my body, it's just that the ocean spirit is more powerful compared to me as the avatar. It would be like the more powerful soul is pushing me away. He's not pushing me out of my own body, but he's like overpowering me, and me allowing the ocean spirit to go into my body and to control me is me giving up my psychological health. I'm allowing that spirit to go into me and to control my every action. That means also accessing the avatar state. If he knows how to access to it, of course. Damn. And the physical health that I was talking about would be like Aang still being in control of his body, yet the moon still being gone. As in, him not allowing himself to give in to the ocean spirit. That would be like him being capable to maintain his physical state. He will be fine. He will be in control. That will be him physically being fine. If I go into a battle and someone else is controlling my body, I could get hurt.
It's not over.
Oh my god. That was... damn. But that's exactly how I imagined it to be. Oh my god. That's a nice budget.
Aang has given himself over to the ocean spirit.
Gotta reach him.
No,
You don't
This
understand.
ocean spirit is more powerful. Yeah, there is no Aang anymore. The ocean spirit took over Aang. He allowed him to overpower him. That means right now there's only the ocean spirit there. It's an angry spirit.
His wrath.
Bye! He's like, that's wrath, bitch. That's vengeance. This fire. Dallas. Yes.
Did you really think the Fire Lord was gonna take you back? It was all a game. And the winner is the one without the scar from Daddy.
His sister.
Just using you as motivation for your sister.
That. I kind of thought that much, but it actually seems that he cares about Zuko. But maybe he's just exaggerating on it.
You're lying! Admit you're lying!
You were a means to an end. I feel so bad for him. To know that his father actually just sent him away because he didn't want him anymore. Iroh said goodbye. This is for the moon spirit. Goodbye, bitch. Have a nice time drowning. Maybe the ocean spirit still finds you. We will never get used to human stupidity, people. They actually think they can do something here. Bitch, this man is made of water. Yes! I just love it! The ocean spirit knows who did this. He knows who to blame.
It's worth the risk to be alive, even for just one night.
Wow. That's the most powerful line this episode. Sir, it's the moon! She literally has to. I feel bad for Yue though, because she deserved to live. Yes! He felt it! He felt his baby being alive. Yes! Maybe you can reach him now, after the moon is back.
You were never meant to die 100 years ago. If you had, you wouldn't be here now. And the world needs you. I need you.
That's powerful. Now that's a romantic moment between these two. She needs you, sir. We know it's over when the melody comes. Yes, King. The Avatar is here. The smile! Yes, he's back. That's something Aang still needs to learn because he's still young. That's something he has to learn still. War will always bring death with itself. There will always be losses. If you can't move on from your past pain, you can't accept new one. Let's just say it like this.
Why attack the North at all?
Distraction.
It wasn't his first
The North
target.
was never the true target.
Yep. Just like his grandfather.
If Zuko is strong, he'll survive. If not, sometimes you have to sacrifice the weak to keep yourself strong.
Yep. And the strong one is his sister, so he really does not care that much about Zuko.
Oh, Mashu.
Wow.
We shall see the return.
Of the comet.
Sozin's comet.
Great. So he knows, but Aang doesn't. Well, dang, that was a nice season finale, y'all. I'm completely shocked, and I want a season 2. I want a season 2. I want to see how the relationship between every single character develops, and let's hope that after what Aang did at the Northern Water Tribe, that he will finally get confronted with people that actually have hope in this man and are willing to help him in any way they can in order to bring balance to the world and in order to stop the Fire Nation, and not only hating on him because he wasn't there 100 years ago. But to be quite honest, I think the one that is suffering the most right now is Zuko, because he thought that he would be capable to get back to his father if he catches Aang. Now, finding out from Zhao that him being banished was only supposed to be a motivation for his sister in order for her to train more and to become better and better, and not for him actually having a chance to be back and have his father's love completely broke him, because that was like his life mission. considering the fact that he now found out that he will never ever get his father's love or his honor back. He now lost his purpose of life. He doesn't know what to do anymore because he literally found out bringing Aang to his father is not gonna make his father love him. So now he's conflicted. He literally lost his purpose in life. He doesn't know why he's living anymore because he literally put every single second to finding Aang in order to could go back home as fast as he could. And that's how he lost his true self. He lost what he truly wanted out of life before he got banished and was forced to look for the Avatar. So now he's completely lost. He doesn't know who he is anymore. And season 2 will be him actually trying to find himself. So that will be interesting to watch. I hope they actually have a season 2, but considering the fact that a lot of interviewers and the cast in general, they are talking positively about season 2, so I'm 1000% sure that there will be a season 2. I'm excited to see how that season 2 will look like. But the fighting scenes and the bending, top notch. Like, I can't say anything about the animation in this show. Really can't say anything. I really hope that we get to see more romance. Literally, Katara, Zuko, and Aang were the only ones that didn't get any romance. No spark at all. The fact that Katara here said, "We need you here, I need you." That was like, I mean, it could be viewed in a family way, but if you guys ask me, that wasn't like that. Because if you mean it in a family way, you usually just say, "We need you," okay? You don't add the "I need you." The "I need you" is always the thing that literally gets like pushed aside. You're just like, "I need you." You know, we all need you. You know, in a certain sense, you'd never say "I need you" because this always feels like romantically. So considering the fact that Katara is like, "We all need you, I need you," this was more viewed in a romantic way, if you guys want my opinion about that. So I hope that in season 2 we get a little more about Katara's feelings. And let's hope that we see a little more of Aang's feelings as well. Now that the guild, in a certain sense, is supposed to be out of the way, considering with what he said. I think I know what Gyatso was trying to tell me. I can't live in the future if I can't get over my past. That is supposed to put an end to this man feeling guilty about not having been there for 100 years. And for all the destruction and pain he caused. So in the second season, that will not be his issue anymore. So maybe in the second season, it will be more like the struggle in learning the other elements. And maybe the love he will develop for Katara. But we will see. I hope you enjoyed this video with me. Tell me in the comments below what you think was best. And I will see you in another video.